Howdy y'all, thank you for joining me today for this unboxing of Marvel Champions card game Age of Apocalypse expansion. This is a scenario pack. I know I'm a little late to the party here as this is barely getting out just before it releases, but I like doing these videos, so we're going to do this. As you can see here, this is the, it's like a scenario pack, so it's going to have a lot of cards in it. It's going to have two decks, like two of the hero decks if you buy the two hero packs. So it's going to have Magik and Bishop, which I've been looking forward to, Bishop. And then it's going to let us have the scenario, which I've actually made it through some of these scenarios now since probably the last time I did one of these videos. Been playing it a lot more with the scenarios. I got to say, they've been pretty fun. So getting a look at this one, it's going to be awesome. But without much ado, let's get right into it. But let's see what's in this. So, of course, we get the book. I'm not going to go through every page in the book here because I'm going to leave the scenario kind of there, even though it's not like, oh, no, it's spoiler. You'll be able to see the bad guys. But you can see the book here, and it lets us know, you know, featured keywords that may be in this, depending on if you've already have some other ones that use these keywords or not. I don't see any on here that are new. They just stick out to me. It says the only new one is this find rule. So maybe that'll add to a little bit of it. And it says here this is also going to come with a standard 3 encounter set. And what that means, if you don't know, is there's the regular standard set that comes with the base one, but standard 2 came in the hood, and it just made it to where you could have a different set of the standard cards. They were just a little bit harder. So we're going to see what this is all about. So standard 3 encounter set. Interesting. Other than that, just the campaign mode rules, how side missions work, and then we get into the story right off the bat. So it's kind of neat how they do it. They got the story, then it goes into a comic that leads into it, and then that leads into another one. So like this will be the story, then the first one will be there, and so forth and so forth. But like I said, I'm not going to show that just so you can have the spoilers or whatever on the, you're going to see the bad guys no matter what. So, and then this will probably give you a little bit of knowing what you're going to be doing. So, all right. All right, so I guess we could have done that off not off camera, but we got the two decks, which are going to be set up just like the hero decks, like when you buy a hero expansion. And then we got the campaigns / more bad guys, which is kind of cool what this does. This gives you a bunch more bad guys to work with and whatnot, and along with a bunch of extra encounters to add to all your regular ones. So we're going to go through these first, and then we're going to take a look at each of these, and I'll put these in order once I open them up so we can kind of see how they go. Alright, so this video is not super long. I already got this ready to go, and we're going to take a look at Magik first because I'm going to say I've been looking forward to Bishop, so he's one of my favorite characters. Magik, I don't like her well enough. But let's get right into it here. We got Magik here. She has 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. Mystic X-Men, play with the top card of your deck face up. Once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it was in your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1. That has some interesting builds for sure that I definitely want to try out to see what's up. And then, of course, she is Colossus' sister, so we got Yana Rasputin here. And 3 recovery, mutant mystic keywords, interrupt. When you change to hero form, choose a spell in your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. Which, if you remember, is now going to let you be able to cast that spell at 1 reduced cost. So, definitely going into her spell casting thing, which is cool. Different way of doing some spell casting, unlike Doctor Strange there. And then we're going to get to her 15 cards. Right off the bat here, we have her brother, Colossus here. 3 costs for a 2/2 for 3 hit points. X-Men, toughness. Interrupt. When an enemy attacks you, play Colossus from your hand, paying his resource cost, and declare him the defender without exhausting him. That's a pretty cool, neat little concept of having him come in to protect his sister. And I mean, you still got to pay the cost, but most likely you just drew up your hand going into the villain phase, so this is going to be a interesting way, and then it doesn't exhaust him and uses up his toughness instead of just sitting there bringing him out and having to wait on it. So, cool. We got Limbo here, support. As a response, or it's a dimension. Response, after your villain phase begins, exhaust Limbo, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Action, exhaust Limbo, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Once again, utilizing that, being able to play the top card on your deck at cheaper, so I guess that's an interesting way of instead of just doing the typical, oh, I got this thing that I can exhaust that gives me an extra resource. This is just doing the same thing in just a different way. So, 2-cost upgrade, Magik's Crown. Magik gains steady. While the top card of your deck has a mental or wild resource icon, Magik gets +1 thwart. Okay. And see, right, her ability even lets you look at it whether you cast it or not, right? So you get to see the next one anyways. Yeah, so you're always going to see the top card of your deck. So if it's not one of those, cast it, do its ability, and then hope you hit one of those again on the next one. I like it. Soul Sword. 1-cost upgrade. Restricted weapon. Magik's basic attacks gain piercing, while the top card of your deck has the physical or wild resource icon, gets +1 attack. All the same stuff from the last one. And this one's probably going to be the same one with defense, but reflex, yep. 1-cost upgrade. Magik gains retaliate, so this gives her retaliate. Oh, the other one gives her steady. I didn't even pay attention to that. And gives her plus the defense. So, interesting way to do her stats too. I like it. I'm actually kind of liking this a little bit more than I thought I would, but we'll see. 0-cost event, Scrying. This is one of the spells that you can bring back to the top of your deck. Action, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, draw 1, discard 1, and put 1 back on top of your deck. Basically Scrying. 1-cost event, Stepping Disc. Superpower, hero action, ready your hero. Choose a magic card in your discard pile not named Stepping Disc and put it on top of your deck. So you can either go for these spells again or go for some of these things that you may have had to discard or may have gotten discarded in some other way. And they give you 3 of those. So she's got a lot of ways of utilizing her discard pile. 2-cost upgrade, or event, Exorcism. I don't know why I was saying upgrade. Spell, Thwart, hero action, Thwart. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. If the top card of your deck has the mental or wild resource icon, confuse the villain. I think I'm remembering those right. I'm pretty sure that was reflex, mental, and physical. I know I get them confused with legendary all the time. Play both of them quite a bit. 2-cost event, Soul Strike. Attack spell, hero action attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If the top card of your deck has physical or wild resource icon, stun that enemy. 2 of those. Magic Barrier. 1-cost event, defense spell. Hero Interrupt. When an enemy initiates an attack, prevent 3 damage from this attack. If the top card of your deck has the reflex or wild resource icon, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. And 2 of those. So that'd be her 15 cards. And then now we see she is aggressive, which I could tell by just looking at the side here. But so that means, as usual, we're going to see some new. And hey, look, we got a new Aggression X-Men. Already thinking about my Storm Ally Aggression deck that I'll have. And here's another X-Men here. We got Gold Balls here. 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack with a special, and 3 HP. As an interrupt, when Gold Balls attacks, discard up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Gold Balls gets plus X attack for this attack, where X is the number of cards discarded this way. That seems good. I like this one a lot, actually. I mean, granted, you're going to do your deck more, so you're going to have to hit an encounter sooner, but especially with this deck, because of the way she discards stuff, or gets stuff from her discard pile, so you don't care what you discard. I mean, you do, but you can. It helps you give more maneuverability with her deck. Pretty cool. Another Aggression ally, Tempest, 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 HP. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. As an interrupt, when the villain would scheme, discard Tempest, cancel that activation, deal yourself 1 face-down encounter card. I like it. I mean, it's not amazing, but if on those points when, man, we really need him not to scheme right now because he could just win, and you just have to do an extra encounter card, which hopefully isn't scheme. Alright, 1 cost upgrade, Blood Rage, max 1 per player. After you defeat an enemy with a basic attack, exhaust Blood Rage and take 1 damage to draw a card. And we get 3 of those. 1 cost upgrade, test the defense, max 1 per player. Response, after you play an attack event, place 1 test counter here. If there are 5 test counters here, discard this card to deal 5 damage to an enemy. So this would be good for my aggression deck for ally. But if you are playing an an event deck, aggression, can't talk today. Sorry, I'm definitely out of practice on these. But I mean, if you're playing an aggression heavy event deck, this is an interesting way to get an extra 5 damage for cheap. I like it. Full body charge, 4 cost event, hero action, attack, deal 8 damage to an enemy. If your hero's remaining hit points are less than half your hero's starting hit points, this attack gains overkill. 4 for 8 damage. I really do like this. A lot of times, that's kind of my thing with aggression. I just felt like it was always a little over cost for how much damage you're actually doing. And you were just looking forward to getting your big events out. This is like one of those big events you would normally see in one of your decks. Like Colossus has one that does 8 damage. And you don't normally see that just in the atypical cards set. So, pretty cool. 2 cost event, Clobber. Hero action attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card you have played this round, return this card to your hand. This, I'm about to say, I thought this is one I already play with. And this is just another art, but gives you more of these. Be nice if one of these has protection. Or not protection, so it's probably, well, it makes sense. I bet Bishop is, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't make the guess on these. I just wanted to tear into this immediately. I don't know if I would have guessed aggression for her. I probably would have thought protection for some reason, but she ended up being aggression. I haven't looked at the Bishop deck. I want to throw my guess out there right now. I'm going to assume Justice and hope. He's going to be Justice, and if he's not Justice, then he's protection. But I'm hoping Justice, because then we'll get the other 3 of these. But anyways, Power of Aggression, max 2 per deck, double the number of resources card generates while paying for an aggression. So an oldie, but new art. Alright, we got the basics here. We get some new allies. Here we got Triage here. Another X-Men I might have to consider. Let's see what she does here. 2 cost ally, 1/1, and 2 hit points. As a response, after Triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character. Yep, I can already tell you, this is another one that will be definitely highly considered in my Storm ally aggression deck, because my allies just go in and basically die from just getting killed. I mean, I can heal them up a little bit, but this is another way to heal them up, so I'll definitely be throwing it in there. 3 cost support, Stepford Cuckoos. Persona, Psionic, play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. Uses, you get 3 side counters. Interrupt, when a player reveals a treachery. Exhaust Stepford Cuckoos and remove 1 side counter here. Cancel the effects of that card and discard it. That player reveals another encounter card. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about these. I mean, they're always good. I ain't going to say they're bad. They're always good because you hit something that you... Man, you're going to lose the game. Here, let's toss that and do this again. I'm just one of those people, when I play, I want to be able to just deal with it. So, unless that's going to lose me the game, and that's why I say it is good, because if it's going to lose you the game, bam. But I don't like planning on that. I'd rather just plan on being able to handle anything that comes at me. But I know that's not always a case in this game. 0 cost upgrade, Blood Gem. Play only if your identity has the Mystic trait. Max 1 per deck. Resource, exhaust Blood Gem and take 2 damage to generate a wild resource. I mean, I guess it's because it's 0. I was thinking, oh, Mystic, oh, trait. Let's see if it's something I'll throw in my Doctor Strange deck, but I mean, I guess 0. I don't know. Take 2 damage for generate a wild. Unless you're doing special stuff with the wild resource. I don't know. Alright, we got just the basic spell here. 2 cost event, spell. Play only if your identity has the Mystic trait. Hero action, choose one. Heal 3 damage from an identity. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. That is really good. I mean, super limited because it's going to be to the Mystic, but definitely Doctor Strange worthy. And then I can see Scarlet Witch using it. Yeah, I like it. Spiritual Meditation, 0 cost event, spell. Play only if your identity has the Mystic trait. Yeah, let's say, I think this is already action. Draw 2 cards, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. I don't remember if the other one... I want to say the other one's either not called Spiritual Meditation or it doesn't let you discard from hand. It just draw 2 and discard 1 of those. So this might be another one. It might be a reprint. I'm not sure. But if not, that's kind of cool and this will definitely be going in there. We got 3 of those. Alright, so that's her deck. And now we're getting into her obligation here, which everybody has. Hers is Darkchild. Let's see. May flip to alter ego form and choose. You can exhaust Ilyana to remove Darkchild from the game, or you can deal 1 damage to each character you control. Discard this obligation. Okay. And then we see her nemesis, Belasco. 1/1. 6 hit points. Villainous. Forced response. After Belasco activates against you, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If Ruler of Limbo is in play, attach those cards to it face down. And then we have his side scheme. Ruler of Limbo. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme while Belasco is in play. When revealed, the Ilyana Rasputin player finds Limbo and attaches it face down here. When this scheme is defeated, put Limbo into play under its owner's control. And then it's going to extra boost up. I decided to go dig through and go get Limbo. That way you can see. So that's what it's saying it's going to do. You have to put this in there underneath this. So it gets rid of your Limbo card, or it has another way for you to get the Limbo, which was in her initial set of, or her initial set of cards. So decided to go dig and go grab that real quick. Sim 2/2/5 guard. When revealed, if Ruler of Limbo is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Witchfire 1/3/4 hit points. Quick strike. Forced response. After Witchfire attacks and defeats an ally, place 1 threat on Ruler of Limbo. Otherwise, place 1 threat on the main scheme. And then we have Battle for Limbo. Treachery, when revealed, each Limbo minion in play activates against the player it is engaged with. If no Limbo minion activate this way, this card gains Surge. Alright. Cool. Like I said, I wasn't super excited about Magik. I mean, I like her well enough. I like Colossus more, which makes me like Magik because it is his sister. But Bishop was always one of my favorite characters to read about when I was a kid. And we're going to see here. So we got Bishop here, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 1 defense. Temporal X-Men, energy absorption, response. After Bishop takes any amount of damage from an attack, discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck. Add each resource card discarded this way to your hand. Oh. I have to say, I think Magik's more my playstyle read now. I mean, I like the ability. Let's see what his other side does, and maybe his cards, and maybe that'll... Because, I mean, that's cool. I usually don't play with that many resource cards, so I really don't know how much I think that's cool. Alright, Lucas Bishop, 4 recovery, mutant temporal, temporarily displaced. As a response, after you change his form, add a temporal card in your discard pile to your hand. So most of his cards are probably going to be temporal. So, I mean, we'll see. A little disappointed, but I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, it's a different character, so it gives me some different interest ways to build. And I always like that. We got his ally here, Malcolm, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack. Here's one of those temporal, but it's X-Men. 3 HP, action, discard a resource card from your hand to ready Malcolm. If that card has a printed physical icon, heal 1 damage from Malcolm. Then we have Randall, 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 HP. As an action, discard a resource card from your hand, ready Randall. If that card has a printed reflex icon, heal 1 damage from Randall. Actually, that's not reflex. Energy, right? Yeah, it's energy. No. Like I said, I always get those mixed up. 2 cost upgrade. Bishop's Rifle. Restricted. Hero action attack. Exhaust Bishop's Rifle and choose an enemy. Deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource card in your hand. This attack gains range. So yeah, it's making you want to build more with the resource cards. 2 cost upgrade. Bishop's Uniform. As a response, after you resolve Bishop's energy absorption ability, exhaust Bishop's Uniform. Heal 1 damage from Bishop for each resource card in your hand. Supercharged. 0 cost upgrade. As an action, discard a resource card from your hand. Place 1 charge counter here for each resource icon on that card. Hero Interrupt. When you make a basic attack, discard Supercharged. You get +2 attack for this attack for each charge counter here to a maximum of +8 attack. Okay. So definitely big amounts of damage like he's able to push out in the comics. 3 cost event, Concussive Blast, Hero Action Attack, deal 6 damage to an enemy if you pay for this event with a resource card, ready Bishop. Command Authority, 2 cost event, Hero Action, Thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you pay for this event with a resource card, draw a card. Energy Conversion, 0 cost event, Defense. When an enemy attacks, shuffle each resource card in your discard pile into your deck. You cannot take more than 3 damage from this attack. Hero Interrupt. And then a resource card. I'm about to say he should have a resource card in this thing if we're going to have him all about resources. And yep, we have stored energy here. And I like that it's 2 energy, but it's actually 2 different types of energies. So there's definitely some cool builds I could think of that I can do with that. With cards that check to see what you used. So definitely kind of cool. And yeah, I was expecting at least 3 of these. Okay. Alright. Hey, and there's my other boy, Cable. Have not got to play him yet, because someone else I play with always plays this character. And so I want to build a deck with them, but I'm having fun trying out some of my other decks and other ideas. But here we go. We got the Cable ally, 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, 3 attack with 2 consequence stars for the attack, and 3 HP. As a response, after Cable thwarts and defeats a side scheme, draw a card. So instead of ready and drawing a card. And I just realized, they went leadership with him, which, yeah, it makes sense to me that he's leadership. I should have figured that. I just figured Justice because of his temporal job, but I guess it makes sense, leadership. But it means we won't see those yellows. Well, we'll probably see them in the decks that come out with these, because they usually have a hero deck line with these. But seeing more allies makes me happy, because here we are. We got a new one, X-23. We got 3 cost, 1 3 for which 3 HP. As a response, after X-23 attacks and defeats an enemy, ready her. And with 3 damage, you look at it, 9 damage, not bad. Team Training, 2 cost support. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Each ally you control gets +1 hit point. Alright, 0 cost upgrade, Advanced Suit. Armor item, attached to an X-Force or X-Men ally, max 1 per ally. As a response, after you attached ally defeats a minion or side scheme, discard 1 card from your hand to heal 1 damage from an attached ally for each resource on that card. Definitely interesting with his cards, and then if you got those, the basic 3, which should be in his deck here. We didn't see them in Magic, but I bet they're in his deck. Sidekick here. 1 cost upgrade. Attached to an identity-specific ally you control. Max 1 per deck. Attached ally gets +2 hit points and is your sidekick. Response. After you make a basic recovery, heal 2 damage from attached ally. Very nice. I like this. Oh, but it only goes on identity specific. I was about to say, man, I could think of some cool things to do with this. But only on your identity specific ally, which normally you only have 1 of in your deck. But still pretty cool. I like it. 2 cost events side by side. Hero action, ready your sidekick. Ready your hero and choose one. Heal 1 damage from both characters. Or both characters get +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. Go and playing out that sidekick. So that's probably what this whole deck's gonna do, I'm thinking. 2 cost events, suit up. Alter ego action, search your deck and discard pile for an ally and an upgrade that can be attached to that ally. Add them to your hand. And I'm assuming, because I'm just reading over these, and my brain's not remembering as I'm reading over them. But yeah, I like the combination I can already see being able to do with that. Lead from the front. 2 cost event, hero action, choose a player. Each character that player controls gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. And the power of leadership. Double the number of resources, just new art. We've seen that. We got another ally here, Legion, X-Men, Psionic, 3 cost, 1/1 with special and 3 HP. As a response, after Legion uses a basic power, discard the top card of your deck if that card's printed resource has. So, the energy, deal 2 to an enemy. Mental, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Physical, heal 2 damage from Legion. I mean, I like cards that utilize your other cards and do stuff. And I love randomness. Marrow, 2 cost ally, 1/2 with 2 HP. Play only if you have the X-Force or X-Men trait. As a response, after Marrow enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy. And then, yeah, we knew these would be in here because I was like, he's about resources. There's no way they're not going to be in the deck. Hopefully those were off camera. I'm sorry, guys, if they were. Energy, Genius, and Strength. And then we have his obligation, Fear the Future. Obligation, give to Lucas, Bishop. You may flip to alter ego form. Exhaust Bishop. Remove Fear the Future from the game. Or discard this card and each resource card from your hand. If no resource cards are discarded this way, this card gains Surge. And then we get Fitzroy here. We got Fitzroy. He's 2/3, 5 HP with Quick Strike. After Fitzroy, force response after Fitzroy attacks and defeats an ally. If Portal Through Time is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, find it and reveal it. So it'd probably be a side scheme, which it is. Portal Through Time. Forced Interrupt. When a temporal card is revealed, it gains Surge. And then we got Bantam, 2/2/3. When revealed, if Portal Through Time is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, find Portal Through Time and reveal it. Then we got Temporal Trickery. When revealed, discard a card in your hand with the most printed resource icons. Place 1 threat on each scheme for each resource icon on that card. And we got 2 of those. Alright, let's get into the bad guys. And probably what y'all want to see is Apocalypse. I mean, I was looking more to the heroes. That's what I was excited to see, but I'm sure most people, I know a lot of people are huge fans of Apocalypse here, so let's get into that. Alright, we got Apocalypse here. 1/2, Apocalypse attack gained overkill. Force response, after Apocalypse changes to his form, deal 1 indirect damage to each player. To this form. So are these double-sided? Oh, these are fold-outs, kind of like Angel, because we got Apocalypse here, who's 2/1, retaliate 1. Forced response, after Apocalypse changes to this form, place 1 threat on each scheme in play. And then we got Big Boy form, 2/2, Stalwart, Force response. After Apocalypse changes to this form, heal 1 damage from him. And you can see here, it's 1 of 16, hit points 16 per player. And then his number 2 is 20 hit points per player. And we can see, looks like his attack goes up and the indirect damage from the forced response. And then his scheme goes up and the threat number goes up to 2. Make sure I get those both in camera there. Oh, fingers in the way. But his attack goes up and the damage he heals. And then we can see here with the other one, 24 hit points per player. And scheme goes up, indirect damage goes up, attack goes up, threat goes up, and I'm assuming the heal, and probably the scheme goes up here. Yep. Scheme goes up here along with the heal. Thought it was strange they had Apocalypse on top, but I guess because they had these fold out cards, they decided to do that. Because yeah, I was like, there's no way he's going to be the first bad guy. Usually these are in order by the way you're going to fight them in the campaign. So I was like, Apocalypse on top? Alright. So this lets us know Unis is going to be the, yeah, especially since they go straight into Apocalypse there. Unis is going to be the top there. Let you know there's 14 cards in his deck. And these, I'm not going to go through each of these. I was just showing y'all Apocalypse because I know that's what everyone's looking forward to. I will try to stop on these at least long enough for you to be able to pause it and look if you want to see it. And then on the double-sideds, I'll make sure I show you both sides so you can see if this is a campaign thing you want to go through. And as we're talking about this one, this is probably what I'll be going up against with, I like to do the playthrough videos without changing the hero decks. And when I say that, I mean with Magik and Bishop, I will play them through. It'll be whatever this first one is, which I'm pretty sure is Unis here. And we will see how they fare up without changing the decks. Just put them straight up against it, along with whatever hero decks they release with these, which we've already seen a couple of those, like Iceman. So, and then also there's another thing. I didn't bring one with me, but there are some organized play packs that you could get from your local game store. Right now, they probably only have the ones for the... Oh, man, I can't even think what the last one was called. It was the one with Juggernaut and all that in it. My brain just escapes me at the moment. But they'll probably throw that on there. They'll probably make... I do not see why they would not mix those in. And I just realized we went into another... As I was off gabbing. These are the Infinites. And then this one is Dystopia Nightmare. We're going to see 6 cards. But I'm sure as soon as they spoil all the characters and show you what those characters do, which I never look at those spoilers. I like what I'm doing right here. This is all being revealed to me right now. So to me, this is a lot of that. Oh, here's that standard 3 set. That's what we're in. But I'm going to go through these because this is changing up your game because you could use these into your new standard. We got Pursued by the Past Environment, Permanent Setup, Forced Response. After you place a pursuit counter here, if the number of counters here is at least 3 or more, the number of players, remove each counter here. If your nemesis minion is in play, it activates against you. Otherwise, flip this card over. As a forced response, after you flip to this side, find your nemesis minion and reveal it. Search the set-aside area for your nemesis side scheme and reveal it. Shuffle your remaining set-aside nemesis set into the encounter set. So this is going to bring out your... it's like a new way of Shadows of the Past, basically. And then we got Dark Design here. When revealed, place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. And if it has an encounters on it, the villain schemes. Okay. Sinister Strike. Place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. Once again, bring out your nemesis. Then if it has any counters on it, this card gains Surge. Wouldn't it always have counters on it? When revealed hero, place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. Then if it has any counters on it, the villain attacks you. Ugh, I don't like that. Evil Alliance. When revealed, each nemesis minion in play activates against you. If no minions activate this way, place 3 pursuit counters on Pursued by the Past. Nowhere is safe. When revealed, place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. Then if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. Drawing Near. It's an obligation. Forced response. After your turn begins, discard the top card of your deck. Place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past for each printed resource icon on that card. Alter Ego action. Discard an identity-specific card from your hand to discard this card. So I do like this encounter set. I'd probably end up playing with this one. But it could get rough because it's gonna... It definitely changes up people who found ways around making sure they can take care of Shadows of the Past when it happens. And this is kind of one of those things where you're not going to really be able to handle. It's going to happen eventually because all of these cards add counters to it. So, and we'll probably go through these. I think these are going to be the ones people wanted to see. Because we got the Horsemen here. It lets us know the 4 Horsemen, 20 cards in the set. And we got War here. 1/2. After War attacks you, if he has at least 1 hit point, discard an upgrade or support you control. War cannot be defeated while another villain has at least 1 hit point. And then we got the B side. Typically when they do this with multiple villains, since you don't have the 1, 2, 3, they have a double side because it's for expert. War, 2, 3. After War attacks, if he has at least 1 hit point, discard an upgrade or support you control, and cannot be defeated while at least 1 other has 1 hit point. So, does the same thing, just bigger stats. We got Famine here, 2/1. After Famine attacks you, if she has at least 1 hit point, discard the top 10 cards of your deck, and can't be defeated at least if another villain has at least 1 hit point. And then, same thing, just better stats. Pestilence, 2/1. After Pestilence attacks you, if she has at least 1 hit point, treat your identity's text box as if it were blank until the next villain phase. No likey. And all these have been, I don't know, it was 12 hit points per player, 12 hit points per player. Oh, no. 9 hit points per player, 12 hit points if they're on the expert side. But, and then we got Death here. 1/2. After Death attacks you, if he has at least 1 hit point, deal 1 damage to each character you control. And none of these can be defeated as long as someone has at least 1 hit point. So I'm assuming it's going to have to deal with the scheme here. Horseman of the Apocalypse. And after a villain activates, move the active counter to the next villain. If this is completed, you lose the game. I don't know, we'll see. I may do this one instead of Unis because, I mean, it's the Horseman. But it might be a little rough, but I'll think about it. The Ravages of War side scheme. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards an upgrade or support they control. A Time of Famine. The player who defeated this scheme discards the top 10 cards of their deck. So kind of like each of their Horsemen, Plague, and Pestilence. The player who defeated this scheme treats their identity text box as if it were blank. The Spectre of Death. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme deals 1 damage to each character they control. Then we got the Golden Horse. Man, they're always considered to have 1 hit point. They get +1 to each stat. And after you attack, attached villain resolved its forced response if it just attacked you. And I'm assuming there's got to be 4 of these. Nope, there's only 3. Well, it makes sense. They don't need 4 because Archangel can fly himself. There's 3, 1 for each of them. And then we got the Metal Wings. Attached to Death and move the active counter to him. Death gains Retaliate 1, is considered to have at least 1 hit point remaining. +1/+1. After you attack Death, resolve his forced response if he just attacked you. Horsemen of War. Heal 2 damage from War and give him a tough status card, and he activates against you. Horsemen of Famine. Heal 2 damage from Famine and give her a tough status card. She activates against you. Horsemen of Pestilence. Heal 2 damage from Pestilence and give her a tough status card. So 1 of these for each of them. Horsemen of Death. Heal 2 damage from Death and give him a tough status card. Alright, we got Rough Riders here. When revealed, resolve the forced response on the active villain as if it has at least 1 hit point and attacked you. Move the active counter to the next villain and resolve its forced response the same way. And 3 of those. Sorry, I was trying to figure out, and I guess my brain just is chicken brain in it. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, I kept seeing this cannot be defeated while another villain has at least 1 hit point. That made me think they can never go below 1. No, they can still go below 1. It just, they aren't defeated until, so basically it goes, all of them are around until you knock them all out. And then we saw they have ways of healing and doing stuff. So this could be a pretty tough fight. It's not like the other ones where it's like, oh, there's a bunch of them. I got that one knocked out. I got that one knocked out. These are going to stick around, which makes sense that are 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, right? All right. And then we got this little side cards that are going to go with it. Hounds here. We got Ahab. 2/3 Cyborg. And then we have Hound. Just a bunch of Hounds. Ahab's Energy Spear. And then Release the Hounds. And then we get into Apocalypse. See the 3rd one? Well, we saw there's another one. You'll probably hit this Apocalypse and then you have to go to defeat a different Apocalypse. So we have a set of Apocalypse here. 15 cards. 1/2 Toughness. When the main scheme is complete, remove all threat from it, and then flip this card and reveal Apocalypse 2. And then Steady Toughness, 2/2, Forced Interrupt. When the main scheme is completed, remove all threat from it. Remove this card from the game and reveal Apocalypse 3. So you're going to have to roll through these. And then Apocalypse 2/3, Steady Toughness. When the main scheme is completed, remove all threat from it. Flip this card, reveal Apocalypse 4. And then 3/3, Stalwart Toughness. Apocalypse attacks gain Overkill. When the main scheme is complete, the players lose the game. There's our main scheme here. The Age of Apocalypse. Then we have the Heart of the Empire. The Towering Citadel. The Tyrant's Throne. No Longer Worthy. Cyberpathy. Biomorphine, Molecular Control, The Fittest. And like I said, I know it's just my voice will not hold up if I know my voice will not hold up if I try to read all these cards. So I just try to stop on them, and that way you can kind of look through it, see if it's stuff you want to add in, and just talk about. Like this would have been a fun one to talk about for sure because it is based around Apocalypse, the Apocalypse Solution. Then we have the Dark Riders. It's going to be a 6 card set. Like I said, I try to stop on the characters so that you can just pause and read if you need to. Oh yeah, Dark Beast. I don't know why I didn't even think about Dark Beast. I mean, I should have looked at the back of the box. I'm sure it would have showed that he was in this. This is those are going to be 13 cards. Then the Dark Beast villain set. Oh. And sorry, like I said, my voice already is not holding up. I just have not stayed in practice of doing these filming these videos. And it goes to show because I know I've done videos that have been definitely longer than 50 minutes to an hour. And we switched into the Savage Land here, which is pretty cool if you want to add the Savage Land into your stuff. And then now we have Genosha, 8 card set. And that'd be a fun one too. Man, I definitely want to jump into this one. We have Blue Moon, 8 card set. Ah, there we go. There's the boy, Gladiator, Oracle. Warstar. Trial by Combat. Alright, now we're into what I was calling Apocalypse, but and I'll probably butcher his name because I've always been bad at saying it. In Sabah Nur. And it said we already saw those. Now we're seeing the rest of his set here. So we're seeing the other 13 cards. The Rise of Apocalypse. Alright. I'm going slow through these, but I'm also flipping them over that way. If I see something that may be double-sided, I can make sure to show you the double-sided cards. Because I know that's been a problem in the past when I do these videos. Because I'll notice something later like, oh no. Celestial Armor, Celestial Weapon, Celestial Tech, Osmandius, But like I said, we'll definitely put a video together where I'll play Magik. I usually do it against the first encounter.
I don't know that.
I usually do it during the first against the first encounter, which would be Unis. But I'll probably end up doing. I'll look and see if I think the 4 Horsemen might be too complicated, but it might be good to do the 4 Horsemen, because if it is complicated, and you can see that you can play these starter decks straight up without changing them, it's a good starting off point for some people. So we're actually seeing the mission cards and the campaign cards now. So where they talked about the new mission cards. There's the mission rules. Alright. Then we have basics from the campaign. These are all campaign cards. Sorry, just seeing if there's anything else before we go into that. Alright, so let's take a look at those. So these are ones you just get throughout the campaign in some way. We got the mission team here. Got Destiny you can pick up. Oh yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about Blink, another one of my favorite characters. I am going to stop and look at her. 4, 2, 2, 3. X-Men. After Blink enters your hand, deal 2 damage to the villain. That'd be cool. Too bad I can't get it outside. Play with it outside the campaign. Then we got Morph. 4, 2, 2, 3. After Morph enters your hand, confuse the villain. X-Man. 4, 1, 3, 3. After X-Man enters your hand, give your identity a tough status card. Desperate Measures. So one of those for each person. It shows these 5 campaign cards. So we got North American Seawall here. Panicked Refugees, Obligation. Panicked Refugees, Panicked Refugees. And I noticed this. It says Overseer, 1 of 5. We got Mr. Sinister, the Shadow King. Abyss. Sugarman. And Rasputin. Alright. Sorry if I didn't go through each of those cards. Like I said, my voice is just going. Way out of practice on this. We will get this sleeved up. I will make a decision on that. And get this video, well, this video will get up as soon as I can, and I will try to play Magik and Bishop as quick, get these sleeved up, play them as quickly as possible, and see if I can get those videos up so you can see how they play. And it'd be cool, I just like doing that. I like playing to see how they play different. And I'll straight up say I was looking forward to playing Bishop. I think this is more my play style though. I had nothing against Magik. Just I may be wrong. Yeah, I'm not going to put any takes on that. I do like the way the Bishop thing works. It's just not usually my build, but that's probably a good thing. Makes me pull out of the box that I'm in on how I build my decks and try something different, which is what's cool about this game for sure. And anyways, I could jibber jabber all day about it. I do love talking about this game, but let's get this sleeved up and see if I can get these videos going. Thank you for watching and have a great day.